Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda.
We're the Newcomers. Thanks for joining us today for Mailbag Monday. It has been a while since we've had a proper Mailbag Monday.
I felt like, what are we doing here today? What are we doing?
Well, we weren't on Thursday's video, really. We did the interviews.
That's true.
We weren't on the last Mailbag Monday.
We
really,
were on the
we
ship.
were on the ship. We
Right.
weren't right here in our friendly confines.
Yeah.
So we're here today, and we think we have a heck of a good show. So please stay with us, and we'll give you lots of good stuff. Started off our morning with a bang.
We did. I was in the den reading my newspaper and etc. And boom! Did you all hear it?
It was a sonic boom.
Yeah.
It was a SpaceX aircraft. I think it was an Axiom crew
Yeah.
was landing in the Atlantic Ocean, and it evidently flew over our house because it rattled the windows.
That's true. So FYI, this is Friday morning. We're doing this Friday, so you're getting this on Monday. But this happened Friday. And
We have to do it on Friday or Saturday because it takes me hours and hours to work it up to give you the kind of product that you've been accustomed to. So we're happy to do it.
But that boom shook the windows, and I thought next door, I said, oh no, their grill blew up or something happened, something's going on, and it really scared me. I remember back in the day we heard sonic booms. Didn't you
They were a
remember
thing.
that?
They became almost outlawed, I think.
Oh,
But anyway, it's kind of neat to live in Florida where you get we can watch space launches from our front porch if we want to. We're not up close or anything, but it looks pretty cool to see that orange fireball going through the sky.
but so you scientific people, what is a sonic boom? And tell me all about what happened.
Why don't you just ask me?
Do you
I
know?
can tell you. Sure, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later what it is. We have a great show for you today. Our trespassers spoiling the experience for local residents at the neighborhood pools.
Wow. And can termites destroy our lovely homes?
And we're going to have a brand new bubble wrap and lots more. What you got for us today, Peter?
Do you dislike going to the supermarket to restock your cabinets? I'm Peter Bernard. On this week's Bubble Wrap, I'll show you a possible alternative.
Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to please subscribe to our channel. In fact, if you want to pause this video and do it right now, we'd appreciate it. YouTube prioritizes our videos by the number of subscribers, the number of views, the number of likes, that sort of thing. The more you subscribe, the more you like, and the more you share our video, the better it is for us, and we get promoted, and more people then will get to see our videos.
Yeah.
So please, take a minute to figure out where that subscribe button is and hit it for us. Oh, and we have signed up for a memory study with Charter Research.
They better hurry. I'm losing my memory pretty quick.
They offer
They gotta
that.
find it for me because this last week and the last 2 weeks, I've been forgetting names. I'll be looking at someone. I'm going, oh my gosh, I don't know your name. And that is a bit scary.
Well,
When I forget your name.
you're all right. You are.
Will you tell me your
Yeah,
name?
I'm gonna help you out there. I'll tell you when it's supper time.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that memory study with the Charter Research.
By the way, I heard that. Can you hear that? That's our table creaking a little bit.
It's an old table.
We've had this table since right after we got married.
Yeah, I walked in the garage, from the garage into the dining family room and in the house, and there was this lovely table with 8 chairs, and he did that to surprise me. He does things like that a lot, and I was just thrilled. I mean, you know, people say, "Oh, why didn't you let her pick it out?" But he has good taste. He does a great job on house decorating, believe it or not, and I trusted him, and I really love this table. It's gone through a lot of dinners, a lot of homework, a lot of
Carving projects.
yeah, everything. But anyway,
Boy
it
Scouts.
does creak. So sorry about the creaks.
Yeah, that's the whole point right there. Time for our viewer video question. This is Brian. He's from Ohio.
Okay.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. This is Brian from Westville, Ohio. My question today is about lifestyle visits. If I wanted to come down on a lifestyle visit, but wanted to book a room at the Lake Sumter Landing Hotel instead, would the villages still give me a temporary ID and some passes so that I can enjoy the amenities while I'm down there looking around and checking out the place. Thanks for checking us out, and hey, we'll see you when we get there.
Thank you, Brian. If you go to a hotel, you are not going to get any of the perks.
No.
You're not going to get the free golf. You're not going to get bicycles. You're not going to get a golf cart. Mm-hmm. You won't get a ticket to a show or anything. So that's why we really recommend you do the lifestyle visit.
Yeah,
because you get all those things.
You get all that, and you're right in the thick of things. You're right with the neighbors, neighborhood, the villagers, and you get a better taste of the villages when you do a lifestyle visit, and it's not that expensive.
No, I think it's gonna be cheaper than the hotel. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. Yeah. If you want the perks, take the lifestyle visit. Just call the village's sales office. They'll hook you up. Yeah. It might be a ways out, but right now we're in the absolute prime time. Yeah. Because of this weather.
I know, it's beautiful.
We had the screens open and the doors open today.
It started out a little bit cool this morning in the 40s, up about 50s, but it's supposed to get up in the 70s. So
it was 52. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cold. It's in the 50s, but it was a beautiful day.
Right, and did I tell you that we've signed up for a memory study with Charter Research?
Yeah.
They're going, what?
I thought we already talked about
Oh, did we? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, back on that page.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I still remembered it. You forgetful, see? He's just making a joke.
Here's a question from Steph. Steph writes, Dave and I are from Oregon, and we've been enjoying learning about the villages. We had our first line dancing lesson last weekend, and we can't wait to whoop it up on the town squares. My question is, if the town squares have different genres of music, or do they mix it up? Yeah. Great question. There are 3 town squares, and then there's Sawgrass,
right? And
there's Edna's on the Green, and the villages auditions these groups. They are great groups. I mean, you've got Bluestone Circle, you've got Johnny Wildland Delights, you got Rocky and the Rollers, you got the Hooligans, the Spasmatics. There's a whole bunch of them.
There's a ton. And then you also have Scooter that does the
Scooter, the DJ, fantastic. Yeah. These alternate between the town squares. Right. So you're not going to have a town square that's country, right. Even though Brownwood Paddock Square looks country. You can have the Hooligans in there, you could have Blonde Ambition in there, you could have, there's an Hispanic band that plays in there. Very good.
Every town square is going to have a mixture of all music. Not,
they circulate.
Tomorrow night, whatever.
For example, Rocky and the Rollers could be at Brownwood tonight. Next week, they could be at Spanish Springs. Mm-hmm. The following week at Sumter Landing. And it just rotates like that. So you'll have a lot of choices. You get that entertainment guide. It will tell you who's playing at what square. So every night you'll have 4 choices, really.
That's true. This is from Tammy in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I was wondering, when a home has gas appliances, is it natural gas or propane? I've seen some areas where there was a propane tank in the ground in the home's yard in the northern section of the villages. Could you please clarify it for me? Well,
yeah, first of all, there's no propane.
No.
If there's propane, you put it there. For example, we don't have gas of any kind in our house. We don't have gas water heater. We don't have a gas furnace. We don't have a gas fireplace. Nobody in our neighborhood, Dunedin, and many of the local neighborhoods. But there are some neighborhoods that do have natural gas, and they would not have propane. We don't have propane either, but the people across the street, they put in a what?
A gas stove in their kitchen and use a propane tank, and they have that buried in their front yard.
They buried a propane tank, so they were able to get gas. They say that gas cooking is really good.
Yes.
You get instant heat.
That's right. That's what I heard. Your mother used to have a gas stove, and Dad, and we never had one growing up, so I don't know how to cook on a gas stove.
I remember sometimes on when we had a blizzard or something, we would heat with the gas range.
Oh,
open the door. We may have to do that if we get a snowstorm down here.
But that's frowned upon.
Yeah, you just get yourself a propane tank if you don't have natural gas
in your neighborhood.
A big topic locally has been the complaints that are being registered about outsiders coming in to use the pools. And, it has nothing to do with some people think they're better than others or entitlement or anything like that. The fact is you pay with your amenity fees for the upkeep of all those pools. And so many apartments are being built around the villages that sometimes people come in. They may not be from those apartments. They could be from anywhere.
Yeah.
and they check IDs when you go in the pool, supposedly. And people have learned to jump in the water when the lady comes out to pick up the, to check your IDs.
Yeah.
And then they say, I'm sorry, I'm in the water. She says, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as big a problem as people think. A recent article on the news said that during the month of December, 676 people were found to not have IDs during checks in the pool. Okay, 676, that might sound like a lot, but in that same month, 127,000 IDs were checked.
Wow.
So that's basically about 1 out of 200 did not have an ID.
Yeah.
I forgot my ID the other day when I went golfing. So you can forget your IDs.
You can. But yeah, they check them specifically at the family pools, and you can't go in the adult pools without an ID. I mean, the adult pool is not the adult pool, the sports pools. You walk in there because you're going to be on a team or you're going to do a special class, and they really check you out for that for sure. Yeah, that could be a problem on the neighborhood pools.
We want them to check those IDs.
We do.
Because we really agree that people that don't pay, but for example, our grandkids come a lot. And she gets them an ID every single time. She will contact one of the regional rec centers like Rohan or Eisenhower, and they will print it right up. They give your little Johnny an ID, and you'll tell him what days he's going to be here, and boom, he can use that at the pools.
Yeah.
He's got to be with us, though.
Yeah, they got to be with you.
Be with us.
Your grandchildren. This is from Ricky and Angel. Hi, y'all, from Tennessee. I love that. Do you find that the homes with 0 lot lines, back up to walls, etc., can hear the neighbors' TV and parties? Can't wait to get there. Possibly.
We've heard it. We've heard mostly barking dogs.
Yeah.
Barking dogs get on the nerves of neighbors sometimes. And it would take a pretty irresponsible dog owner to put their dog out on the lanai and let that dog bark, bark, bark.
With a screened-in lanai, for sure.
When we had Gizmo, we've done experiments where he'd be barking, wanting to find us, and we'd go outside to see if we could hear him. Yeah. And we could a little bit.
Yeah, we could.
But luckily, he wasn't a big barker.
Yeah. Yeah, I worry about that too with barking dogs. But
now, in our case, we don't ever hear any music from our neighbors. They've never had parties. They do sit out on their lanai. We don't hear them.
People are pretty much attuned to each other's neighbors and our small lots that we are considerate. I don't see big parties going on.
Well, they could, though, and I've heard people had problems with neighbors, and that would be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But I'd say if you do have that, just knock on their door and say, hey, it's very loud. Could you please turn it down? If they don't and you keep having problems, that's when you would call the deed compliance office. And you may even have to call the police department eventually.
Yeah. That makes for bad neighbors, but that's what you're going to have to do. Confront them first.
Have you ever confronted anybody in your life?
I haven't. I would say, Jerry, would you please go confront them, please?
She is the most
confront nobody.
Non-confrontational person in the world. Me, not so much.
I come home and I'll complain to Jerry. Jerry, you know what she did? Or whatever. Poor Jerry has to hear it all.
It's time for bubble wrap.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. I know a lot of folks that live in the villages are busy with pickleball, tennis, cardio drumming, and lots of other things. So shopping at a supermarket takes up time. There is an alternative for restocking your cabinets. Since we moved to Citrus Grove in May of last year, I'd seen Kroger delivery trucks coming in and out of the neighborhood several times a day. This is video from our second delivery at my house. Kroger has no stores in Florida, so all its customers get their groceries via large refrigerated trucks. You start by going online and using the Kroger app or website to set up an account. From there, you can browse categories: produce, frozen, fresh meats, deli, bakery, cereal, pet food, pretty much anything you'd find in a Publix, Winn-Dixie, or Walmart. They also have coupons you can clip and cash back on certain items. Plus, you can gain money off your gasoline bill with fuel points. Delivery costs $9.99 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All other days it costs $6.99, and it offers a program called Boost for $59 a year to get rid of the delivery fee for orders over $35. And all orders over $100, it's always free. Got all that? My wife is impressed with the quality of the produce. If they're out of something, they will substitute it for something else with your okay, if available. If they're totally out, you get a refund. You can set up a delivery window so your stuff doesn't sit outside. You can also ask your items to be placed in the cooler, and they ask you not to tip. And as I've heard you guys say a lot, do your own research and find out if grocery delivery is good for you. Maybe you can save some time, maybe you can save some money. I'm Peter Bernard, and that's this week's Bubble Wrap.
Thank you, Peter. We appreciate that. If you're up in age, or perhaps you have mobility issues or eyesight issues, or for whatever reason, you may not want to get out and go to the grocery, and that can help a whole lot of people. Lots of grocery stores have a delivery service, and you can take them up on that. Kent in Minnesota asks, are the vinyl siding houses wood framed, which makes them more susceptible to wood-destroying organisms in Florida? Or are they metal frame with vinyl sidings in Florida? Good question. Yeah. And you know, we're the second owners of this house, so we've been looking to put in an electrical outlet here or there, and we've done some things where we wanted to put shelves on the wall, and we're looking behind them to put things into studs. Our house has both wood and metal studs, and there doesn't seem to be any rhyme nor reason, which is a good reason to take pictures when they construct your house.
That's a good idea.
If you can take pictures of your living room before they put the drywall on, you can find out that where the studs are. You can see which ones are metal, which ones are, or that way you can find out where the block wall is and all that kind of stuff. You're going to find a mixture of both. But wood-destroying organisms like termites, you could have a company come and treat the perimeter of your home. We did. It's expensive. And the thing is, you have to renew it each year. You don't have to pay the big payment that you did when you put it in, but you have to renew that to keep your guarantee against termites going. And if you change companies, I think you have to start from scratch again and have them treated.
Wow.
So it's kind of a bad deal. Have we heard of anybody that had termites in their homes, whether they be vinyl or concrete here in the villages? No, we haven't. When you talk to the people from the companies, though, they will show you lots of pictures and tell you lots of stories that tell you that they will seek out. And if you have a concrete and stucco house like we have, block and stucco, they say that the termites can crawl up and get into your rafters, which are all made of wood.
That's right.
So that can happen in any house, but we haven't heard big stories of it here, although evidently Florida is prime termite territory.
I have heard that my cousin who lives near Tampa area, she's had termites in her home. So that's something to think about when you get a home in Florida. I would investigate. I got it. Yes, I did. Oh, can we read this all over again?
I think we should.
Don't even. Let's practice for a minute. GBs. Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. All right, here we go.
I think I look too bright.
This is from Susan Allison Golinovo.
Why don't you just say, this is from Susan?
Let's start that over.
Okay.
I thought we already did.
No, we did the intro.
Oh, gotcha. My name's not anywhere. I don't know where to read. I don't know where to stop. Nothing is like I like it.
Okay.
This is not like I like it.
What?
I don't know. I think I like my hair like this. This is from Tammy in Sheboygan. Oh, man. I got hung up on that word. All right. I guess we'll do. I got lipstick on.
Are the vinyl siding house wood framed?
This is from Guy and Kathy Levitt. How much of your stuff did you bring with you, and what is the size difference between your farmhouse that you left at home in Indiana and your village's house? Well, and after having lived in your new house for a while, do you wish you had purchased a different size home?
This home is perfect for us. It's 2,000. It's right at 2,000 square feet, maybe a little more because we have glassed the lanai. Mm-hmm. But it's perfect. I would not want a bigger home. You know, even if we bought in a different neighborhood, I wouldn't want a home any bigger.
No, and we did bring about just half of what we owned. We got rid of quite a bit of furniture.
2,000's fine. 1,900 would be fine. 1,800 would probably be fine. 2,100 would be fine. But nothing, I don't want a 2,800 100 square feet.
Yeah.
We had about 3,000 square feet in Indiana. But we also had storage for 5 cars in garages.
We had a lot of
And we
outbuildings.
had a man shed like you wouldn't believe. It was a beauty.
Yeah.
And those things I miss. But
That's true. But
yeah.
the more room you have, the more you're going to fill it up, the more stuff.
when you get down here, you're probably, if you live up north, Wisconsin, you know, Michigan, Indiana, Minnesota, you've got the perfect furniture for up there. You know, it may have a cabin look or dark black or black furniture or brown furniture. Down here, things tend to be more coastal, more tropical. Whites are in, beige is in, light brown might be in, blues are in, but you don't get that big, heavy, clumpy furniture like up north.
Like we did, yeah, that's true.
Did you notice my haircut?
Watch your toes.
I watch my toes. Well, notice my haircut. I have a new haircut. It's pretty short.
Yeah, it's short.
sure
I
about
like
that.
it though.
Do
I
you?
think it's pretty.
Well, thank
And
you.
I just said, watch your toes. Did y'all know Jerry broke his toe on our cruise?
We'll talk more about that on our cruise show.
We will.
Ouch. Anne Marie in Sumter, South Carolina writes, when you glass in a lanai, can you have screens on the outside so you can use it as a screen room when the weather's nice? I'd like a combination glass screen lanai. You know what? All of them have screens that we know of. They all will either have sliding windows or sliding doors, and you'll have a screen you can pull so you can get that cross ventilation going, just like we did this morning.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I want you guys to know that down here they have a research company that does research on memory, and we've signed up for that memory research.
Yeah.
And they're going to have us. Did I already say that? Did I say that already?
I think you did, like twice. I think your memory is going, Jerry. Sorry.
It's time for Out and About. We went to Codys. Now, Codys has several locations. I think they have quite a few locations. Mm-hmm. We went to the one in Brownwood for lunch. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We got there just before 3, and lunch ends at 3. And I told the waitress we'd like to order from the lunch menu. And she said, no, it's dinner now. I said, well, we got here before 3. She said, just right before 3. You have to order off the dinner menu now. Oh man, we're trying to bring you all a show about lunch, and we had to order off the dinner menu. But no problem though. But
No.
I thought, come on.
Yeah, we were in the building. We were inside.
Yeah.
But no, if you sit down, it's got when you order. So you better order before 3:00.
Codys is a cool place. If you come down the street and you see it there, you see it's got the bright orange letters, and they've got gas pumps outside, and they've got a beautiful old truck sitting there. You come in, they've got gas pumps for handles on the door, and it's a good environment. It's a lot like Cracker Barrel.
That's true.
Very much, with that old stuff
Yeah,
on the walls.
right,
I expect to see Mike and Frank from American Pickers in there
That's true.
selling them
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it was
So-
delicious.
Yeah, it was good. We actually didn't get off the lunch menu, but we bought a pulled pork sandwich with fries, and I got a sweet tea. The sweet tea was real good. I like good sweet tea.
It was delicious.
Keep your lemon. I don't want your lemon. But the sweet tea was good. My pork sandwich, we had a very generous amount of pork.
Yeah, it was.
She made them bring me extra barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
She was trying to anticipate my needs.
Yeah.
And they brought that, and it was delicious. And I brought half of it home. I'm going to have that for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what'd you get?
I had the cheeseburger, and it said plain old cheeseburger because plain old just meant dressed. It didn't have blue cheese crumbles or bacon or anything. It just had the lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. And oh my gosh, when it came, tell you what, it was that tall. And then the burger was that big, thick. Oh, it was so thick. Oh my gosh. And it was delicious. It was charred a little bit. I kind of liked it.
And you got fries well done also. Well done fries. People, try it.
Yeah, and I told Jerry, I said, these fries are probably my favorite fries.
They're
in
delicious.
The whole
Delicious.
Villages.
You know,
is
in a
at
lot of
Codys.
restaurants, when you go in and order those fries extra crispy, they just dump the fries out. And they don't do anything to make them extra, but they did here. Those were delicious.
Most fries, like let's say McDonald's, they're teeny tiny, skinny winny. Okay, you go other places, they're just normal. But these fries at Codys were pretty thick, and they looked almost like steak fries, but not quite as big as steak fries. But they were absolutely delicious and seasoned with seasoned salt. Yum, yum. I
Real
told
good.
Jerry we need to go there just for a snack for French fries and a milkshake, but sometime.
But when we got finished, I had only eaten half of mine. I always cut it in half because anticipating that maybe I won't eat it all and I can bring the rest home. So I brought half my barbecue home. She only ate half her hamburger. So we decided if we go out to the restaurant, we should just split a meal. There was plenty of French fries.
Yeah.
Half the sandwich was great. So we might start doing that. And we wouldn't do it to be cheapskates. We'd just be doing it so we wouldn't overeat.
That is the most important thing. And we also had peanuts, and I did overeat on the peanuts because, we used to be able to get them at the other steak places, but you don't anymore. So this Codys had them, and I love me some peanuts.
I have to admit, I ate the rest of her hamburger for lunch today.
Yeah.
It was a really good hamburger.
It was delicious. Anyway, good place to eat, Codys. You must go.
But if somebody gets there before 3 and you've got lunch till 3, you give them that lunch menu.
It's time for our entertainment. They had an actual, today was Friday, in the Daily Sun, a great big article on The Beat Goes On. And these are about 4 groups that are coming this next month. And I really want to plug them because these are great bands and bands that we knew 50 years ago. And they're together. Maybe 1 or 2 of the original members are in these groups. And they're still touring, and that's amazing. So if you get your calendars out and try to get to one of these programs, I think you're going to love it. On March 6th at the Sharon is going to be the Righteous Brothers, and that's with Bucky Hurd and Bill Medley.
You never close your eyes.
Jerry's going to sing while I
That's
tell
Bill
you.
Medley. He is a fantastic
Oh my
singer.
gosh, yes. And then Gary Lewis and the Playboys, which we have talked to last year, on February 25th.
Gary Lewis, he really liked you.
He did.
Yeah.
I liked him too.
When he sang his song, we were in the audience after we had interviewed
Yeah.
him, and he said, "Save your heart for me."
Yeah.
He pointed right at Linda.
He really did. He really did.
He is a great guy. Son of Jerry Lewis, the comedian.
Yeah, but we enjoyed that interview. And that's at the Savannah Center on February 25th. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer are going to be here on February 19th at the Savannah Center. And also Blood, Sweat, and Tears, February
What
17th.
goes up?
Damn, I can't.
They had some great tunes. Spinning Wheel.
Yeah. So those great groups, Righteous Brothers, Gary Lewis, and the Playboys, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears are
And we
Tom
went to a good show the other night called the Brit Pack. It was a group of 4 men.
Yeah.
2 were from Great Britain and 2 were from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And they sang a whole bunch of songs from British artists.
Yeah.
They were really, really, really good. The Village's entertainment brings you top of the line acts.
Yeah.
Now, they might not be as like Herman's Hermits, and the others may not be as popular as they were back in 1965. But they're great, and it's good to hear. That's our music.
These are tribute bands that come too, and they are wonderful. I mean, I came this close to getting up and dancing down the aisle, but I didn't do it. I wanted to.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was going to do the twist. They were all doing the twist at the very end. I'm going to get up, but I didn't do it.
I didn't get up either.
But we did stand up for a standing ovation. They came back and did another song. But entertainment in the Villages, top notch.
Yeah, I'm Victory Productions, so we have gone to quite a few of their productions, whether it be a play or an act, and they bring in such great stuff. Anytime you see it's a Victory production, they've vetted it pretty good, and it's going to be a good show. And the same for the Villages Entertainment.
Yeah, and I was reading in the paper too about these bands. They said they love coming to the Villages because the response from the crowd is just wonderful. You all make them feel so good, and they want to come back. So that's great.
She loves to point out the people around you, man, they are
Yeah.
rocking. They could be 85 years old and they're still getting with it.
And they're
One guy
mouthing
the other day
words.
was going like this with every note, wasn't he?
He did. And mouthing the words. I mean, you can tell that they knew all the words to songs. And I kept thinking, I wonder what that story is. I bet he was, maybe in the Vietnam, and maybe he was over there just listening to music while he was,
Who knows?
wherever or something. So it was wonderful. It's time for Ask Amy.
This one's with Audra.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. My name is Audra. I am an estate planning attorney at Pittman Law Office. And a commonly asked question that I get is a revocable trust only for wealthy people? Or can it also be used for more moderate assets? And my answer is absolutely they are available for folks that have more moderate assets. A revocable trust for our typical client is used not for estate tax reasons or anything like that. It's used to avoid the probate process. So the main difference, generally speaking, between a will and a trust is probate versus no probate. And when you have a revocable trust, and if you fund it properly, then nothing should go through probate, which is a court process. So when you pass away, if you have a revocable trust and it's funded properly, your house never goes through the probate process and it transfers to your beneficiaries without much paperwork. With a last will and testament, no trust, but with a last will and testament, when you pass away, your house will be in a process, depending on who the beneficiaries are, will dictate how long the process is and how much money it takes. But if you want your house to go to your legal heirs, it'll typically take about 90 days, maybe a little bit less, and it usually costs about $3,500. So the benefit for a lot of our clients, even with moderate assets, isn't to protect money for estate taxes or anything like that. It's to protect their home from the probate process. It's very easily done with a revocable trust. So our revocable trust vehicles for clients with moderate assets, absolutely.
Thank you, Audra. It's always good to get legal pointers, and we appreciate it. We're going to bring that segment to you once every few weeks, and Audra and Amy do just a wonderful job. Time for Sweet and Salty. All right, you going to do the sweet?
I will. This sweet comment is from Susan. You two make me laugh and smile big. I watch you in the morning while I get ready for work. It starts my day off with a great attitude. I go to the Villages in March to hang out with my sister-in-law, my 4th time. I love it there.
Yeah, well, Susan, we can tell you're a positive person, and just like all the people that went on our cruise, they were wonderful people. They are people that want to be happy, and if you're a happy person, you're going to be happy wherever you are, and we like people like you when they visit here. It's great, and glad to see such a nice attitude. On the salty side, we have somebody named Carnivore Con.
Okay.
Urban sprawl, eating into the beautiful Florida countryside. The Villages needs to build upwards, not outwards. Carnivore Con, if we built upwards, we would be bouncing into that bubble. We would be hitting the bubble up there if we built up. And I'm not saying the Florida countryside's not beautiful. If it's, it's all about what you're used to. But I don't think the people that move down here from Wisconsin are going to be remarking about the beautiful countryside outside the Villages. We were from Southern Indiana, and it's one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Beautiful.
And
Great.
That's the way progress is. They pave paradise and put in a parking lot, and that's what they do. As the population grows and people seek new places to live, they build, and as long as they're making a profit, they're going to keep building, just like you would and I would. Time for the word jumble. Last week's word jumble the answer was retirement.
I got it. Yes, I did.
A lot of people said it's too easy.
That's why I got it.
But a lot of people say, that's the first one I've ever got. Hey, do you like the new horizontal format? I'm doing them in a straight line rather than every which way. So hopefully you like that. Here's the clue for this week. Once there were 3, but now only this one remains. Time for shout-outs. We want to recognize some of the special friends of our channel. You could be there for lots of reasons. Maybe we met you somewhere. Maybe you wrote us a nice letter. Maybe you donated with that thanks button at the bottom. Whatever the reason is, we're proud to know all of you, and I hope you see some of your names going across the screen. Roger Erickson says, if he can ever program Mama away from the grandkids, he'd like to come down to the Villages. Here he is blowing leaves in his backyard. I don't miss that.
I don't either. The leaves back in Indiana were up to my waist.
He said he'd rather be doing leaves than blowing snow, though.
That's true. That is true. This is Mark and Denise with their friend Margie celebrating their new home in Liberty Park. Welcome and congratulations.
Yeah, that's nice. They were the two on the right, Mark and Denise. Here are 2 of our frequent contributors. This is Tina and Scott Weaver. Scott has sent in some questions for the viewer video question before. They sent us this picture in front of that famous sign. They have closed and now they are officially villagers. Welcome. You're just the kind of people we need here.
Congratulations on your new home. Well, Paul and Diana Buckle were just here for their second lifestyle visit. They attended the 30th anniversary of Spanish Springs and say they had a wonderful time. And you know, that's going on for the whole year.
Is it? Mm-hmm. We didn't get up there for the weekend that they kicked that off, but people say it was very crowded and such a good time. Mm-hmm. And by the way, they're on their second lifestyle visit. If you come to a second or a third, if you can talk them into a third, you don't get all those extras. Like the movie tickets, the golf passes, you know, those kind of things, or the performance passes. You won't get those. This is Jim and Judy. 2 weeks ago, they wrote and asked us if we would invite 2 of their dear friends to come down and visit the Villages, and it worked.
Yeah.
Andy and Debbie are coming down in 2 weeks to visit, so.
Well, we'll have to look for Andy and Debbie.
Yeah, we may have to have you all write some letters to our relatives to come down.
Yeah. Well, Bill and Jana sent this photo. They say they enjoy our show every week.
Chris and Sandy Dixon have recently moved into their new home in the Villages. We have met them. In fact, we went out to eat with them.
Yeah.
And they are swell people and will definitely fit into the lifestyle here in the Villages. Mm-hmm. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
On Thursday, be sure and catch our show. We will feature some interviews with some tough questions, and we'll talk about the heat. We'll talk about how small the lots are here. We'll talk about problems with neighbors. We're going to talk about lots of things like traffic and how they adjusted to living here, and I think you'll like it a lot.
If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook. Until next time.
See you when you get here.